Hello, in today's lesson we will solve the irreducible system by substitution. We're going to write down the system of equations. The first equation is minus x plus y, minus 4 equals 0. The second equation is 4x plus y, plus 1 equals 0. Let's remember the algorithm for solving a system of equations by substitution. To do this, we need to choose a variable that has a coefficient equal to 1, a positive plus 1. In the first equation, x has a coefficient equal to minus 1. Of course, we can express this variable, but we have the variable y, which has a coefficient is plus 1. So let's express the variable y from the first equation. You may ask a question, but we have the same variable in the second equation. We can express it from the second equation. So let's express the variable y from the second equation. Let's write down I equals from the second equation. B equals. Let's move the unit to the right side and the 4x's to the right side. Let's move it with the opposite sign. The result is minus 1 minus 4x's. If I express the variable y from the second equation, then the resulting expression, I must substitute y for y in the first equation. What is the result? In the first equation, minus x. In the first equation, plus. But instead of y, we're going to substitute our expression. Minus 1 minus 4x. Notice I've written this expression in parentheses so that we don't lose the sign, so we don't make a mistake. Next, I have minus 4 written in the equation. Minus 4 equals 0. One more time. I chose the second equation. From the second equation, I expressed the variable y because the coefficient of y is plus 1. So I expressed that variable and substituted the value of that variable into the first equation. As a result, I was left with only one variable in the first equation. This is the basic technique we need to use in order to solve the equation. We need to leave one variable and then we can solve the equation. Let's work with the first equation. We open the parentheses. Minus x minus 1 minus 4, x minus 4 equals 0. We've rewritten the first equation. The second equation, minus 1 minus 4x. Let's work with the first equation. What do we get as a result? Let's add similar summons. Minus x, minus 4. X is minus 5x. Minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5 equals 0. And the second equation I'm going to rewrite. Y equals minus 1 minus 4x. We can solve the first equation. Minus 5x minus 5 equals 0. How do we solve it? We move minus 5 to the right side. We get minus 5x equals 5. And then I can solve the equation. The result is x equals minus 1. When I solve the first equation, I will rewrite the second equation. And only after I found a value, x equals minus 1, I will substitute it instead of x, and then the result will be y equals minus 1 minus 4 times minus 1. Let's find the value of this expression. The value is minus 1 plus 4, and that is 3. So we've found the value of x, which is minus 1, and the value of y, which is 3. We can write this answer as a pair of numbers, minus 1 and 3. We used the substitution method today in class. You may ask the question, Why did we use the substitution method? Can we use the addition method here? Yes, we can. But in this system, we learned how to use the substitution method, which can be applied to any system. In the next lessons, we'll solve another system using the addition method. Today, our lesson has come to an end. Goodbye. See you again.